Guarantee Exam Life and Health Insurance Texas. When is the earliest a policy may go into effect? When the application is signed and a check is given to the agent. If a basic medical insurance plan's benefits are exhausted, what type of plan will then begin covering those losses? Supplementary major medical. A brain surgeon has an accident and develops tremors in her right arm. Which disability income policy definition of total disability will cover her for all losses? Own occupation, less restrictive than other definitions. If a life insurance company uses HIV testing as a part of its underwriting, when must an applicant be notified of the procedure? Prior to performance of the test. A core Medicare supplement policy, Plan A, will cover all of the following expenses except Part A deductible. Which of the following does not have to be included on the first page of a Medicare supplement policy? Premium rates. According to the Common Disaster Clause, if the insured and primary beneficiary are killed in the same accident and it cannot be determined who died first, which of the following will be assumed? The primary beneficiary died before the insured. If a credit life policy is terminated upon the payment of the death benefit, what happens to the premium paid into the policy? The premium is considered earned, so no refund is required. Regarding the PACA healthcare tax credit, which of the following is true? Persons receiving Medicaid are not eligible. The guaranteed insurability rider allows the owner to purchase additional amounts of life insurance without proof of insurability at all of the following except purchase of a new home. Hospital indemnity/hospital confinement indemnity policy will provide payment based on the number of days confined in a hospital. When a whole life policy lapses or is surrendered prior to maturity, the cash value can be used to purchase a single premium policy for a reduced face amount. An insured decides to surrender his whole life insurance policy. The cash value at surrender is higher than the premiums paid into the policy, due to interest. What part of the surrender value would be income taxable? The difference between the premiums paid and the cash value. Under a health insurance policy, benefits, other than death benefits, that have not otherwise been assigned, will be paid to the insured. What is the maximum amount of time an insurer may delay payment of a claim without having to pay an additional interest? 60 days. Which of the following provisions states the insurer's right to change premium amounts? Continuation provision. In which Medicare supplemental policies are the OR benefits found? All plans. The provision that sets forth the basic agreement between the insurer and the insured and states the insurer's promise to pay the death benefit upon the insured's death is called the insuring clause. Which of the following is true regarding a joint life annuity? The payments stop at the first death. Which of the following best describes a major medical expense policy? It provides catastrophic medical coverage beyond basic benefits on a usual, customary, and reasonable basis. What type of health insurance plan provides broad medical expense coverage without requiring an insured to meet a deductible? Indemnity. The least expensive first-year premium is found in which of the following policies? Annually renewable term. Which of the following is true of level term insurance? It is temporary protection. Riley reads an agreement on the first page of her policy which includes a list of losses that will be covered by her insurer. What is the name of this agreement? Insuring clause. A Medicare supplement policy must have a free look period of at least 30 days. Your client wants to provide a retirement income for his elderly parents in case something happens to him. He wants to make sure that both beneficiaries are guaranteed an income for life. Which settlement option should this policy owner select? Soent and survivor. An annuity has accumulated the cash value of $70,000, of which $30,000 is from premium payments. The annultant dies during the accumulation phase. The beneficiary will receive $70,000. An applicant misstates his age on his application for a health insurance policy. He states that he is 39, but his actual age is 49. When he files a claim, what will most likely happen? Benefits paid will be those that would have been purchased at the correct age. Which is true about a spouse term rider. The rider is usually level term insurance. Which of the following is a statement that is guaranteed to be true, and if untrue, may breach an insurance contract? Warranty. Which of the following is the primary source of information that an insurer uses to evaluate an insured's risk for life insurance? Insurance application. Why is an equity-indexed annuity considered to be a fixed annuity? It has a guaranteed minimum interest rate. A married couple purchase a life insurance policy on their newborn baby. They are concerned about what would happen to the policy if either one of them were unable to continue making the premium payments due to death or disability. Which policy writer should their agent recommend? Pay or benefit. Which of the following elements of an insurance contract requires payment of premium? Consideration. Who must pay for the cost of a medical examination required in the process of underwriting? Insurer. All of the following are personal uses of life insurance except buy-sell agreement. If an individual willfully violates provisions of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, what is the maximum civil penalty? $2,500. Which of the following services will not be provided by an HMO? Unlimited coverage for treatment for drug rehabilitation. Which of the following riders pays a beneficiary a death benefit that is double or triple the face amount if the insured's death was caused by an accident as defined in the policy? An accidental death rider. If a license is revoked, the licensee will not be eligible for a new license for 5 years. If an insured is injured while committing an illegal act and the insured's health policy contains the legal occupation provision, what percentage of the claim will be paid? 0%. A lucky individual won the state lottery, so the state will be sending him a check each month for the next 25 years. What type of annuity products are they likely to use to provide these benefits? Immediate annuity. An insured was diagnosed 2 years ago with kidney cancer. She was treated with surgeries and chemotherapy and is now in remission. She also has a 30-year smoking history. The insured is now healthy enough to work and has just started a full-time job, which describes the health insurance that she will most likely receive. Excluding she would be covered under her employer's group health insurance plan, without higher premiums. The benefits in medical expense insurance are received income tax-free by the individual. Once the initial benefit limit in Medicare Part D is reached, how is the beneficiary affected? The beneficiary is then responsible for a portion of prescription drug costs. All of the following statements about the continuing education requirement in this state are true except: licensed agents must comply by January 1st of even numbered years. A temporary license in this state is valid for 180 days. A husband and wife both incur expenses that are attributed to a single major medical insurance deductible. Which type of deductible do they have in their policy? Family. Which of the following is a correct statement about annuities? Fixed annuities do not provide protection against inflation. While completing a life insurance application, the applicant realizes that she should have answered an earlier question differently. What should the agent do to make the necessary change? Cross out the incorrect information, write in the correct answer, and have the applicant initial the change. Reports required by the Texas Department of Insurance based on complaints about unfair settlement practices must contain information, except the resident state of the claimants. A temporary license holder can receive a commission from a sale made to all of the following except the license holder's sister-in-law. All of the following are changes to health insurance plans introduced by the PACA except full cost coverage for all medical expenses. Which entity has the option of including optional provisions in a health insurance policy? The insurer. An applicant may challenge information discovered as a result of an investigative consumer report under which of the following acts? Fair Credit Reporting Act. An insured had a heart attack while jogging, but is expected to return to work in approximately 6 weeks. The insured's disability income policy will replace a percentage of his lost income. All of the following must sign an application for health insurance except the insurer. Which of the following terms refers to solicitation, negotiation, effectuation, or advising related to an insurance contract? Insurance transaction. Which of the following is not a feature of a guaranteed renewable provision? The insurer can increase the policy premium on an individual basis. A whole life policy is surrendered for a reduced, paid-up policy. The cash value in the new policy will continue to increase. The death proceeds for life insurance policies must be paid to the claimant within what time period after due proof of death of the insured? 2 months. When an insurer issues an individual health insurance policy that is guaranteed renewable, the insurer agrees to renew the policy until the insured has reached age 65. All of the following are true about variable products except the premiums are invested in the insurer's general account. Your client is sole proprietor and wishes to include his family on a medical expense plan. How much of the cost of the medical expense plan can be deducted, since he is considered self-employed? 100%. Which of the following statements is not true regarding health insurance policy provisions? All additional provisions written by insurers are catalogued by their respective states. How long is the incontestability period in group life insurance policies issued in Texas? 2 years. What license or licenses are required to sell variable annuities? Both a life insurance license and a securities license. An individual is approaching retirement age and is concerned about having proper coverage should he have to be placed in a long-term care (LTC) facility. His agent told him that LTC policies would provide necessary coverage at all of the following levels except acute, In an individual life insurance policy, when must the non-forfeiture benefits begin? After 3 policy years. Life insurance can provide which of the following? Survivor protection. What is the difference between a straight life policy and a 20-pay whole life policy? Premium payment period. If an insured dies, and it is discovered that the insured misstated his/her age or gender, the life insurance company will adjust the death benefit to what the premium would have purchased at the actual age or gender. Under the mandatory uniform provision, notice of claim, written notice of a claim must be submitted to the insurer within what time parameters? Within 20 days. Which of the following individuals would be a likely candidate to purchase a deferred annuity? Someone who wants to grow retirement funds tax deferred. All of the following health insurance disability benefits are income tax-free except employer paid group disability. Which of the following used to be called Medicare Plus choice plans? Medicare Advantage plans. Which of the following is not true regarding the annuitant? The annuitant cannot be the same person as the annuity owner. What effect will the long-term care (LTC) rider have on the death benefit of a life insurance policy if LTC benefits were paid to the insured? Reduce the death benefit. An IRA contribution can be made from which of the following? Cash. The probationary period is a specified period of time that a person joining a group has to wait before becoming eligible for coverage. The insurance commissioner may examine the affairs of any insurer as often as necessary, but not less frequently than once every 5 years. Which of the following would not constitute a policy replacement? Converting group coverage to individual coverage.